Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerdverse Odyssey, episode 28. I'm your host, everyone's favorite low-rent, chubby Wolverine, Mr. Nico.
What an insult to Wolverine.
And above me, we have the Wish.com Bruce Banner himself, Mr. Glenn. How you doing? Good enough. And to his right, we have, and God bless him, that right there is America's mullet, Mr. Wife-beating Captain America himself, Mr. Hunter. How you doing?
Why do you keep circling back to the wife-beating thing?
Because
we
you
gotta
look
find
like a
a new
fucking
one.
redneck.
Yeah, but that's when I wear tank
You
tops.
are the modern day Captain America. You embody what Captain America would look like nowadays.
That's not an image I want to be a part of.
You have his
I'm
shield
also
on your
just gonna
chest.
say,
Just
like,
saying.
Hulk is kind of a low blow. Like I feel like I'm more of a man thing.
No, see, you're tall and you talk a lot and you kind of spurg out and get angry sometimes. So, Hulk.
But when you get angry, do you stomp around like and punch
He's
trees?
a very big man. He does make big stompy noises.
So why
Yeah,
not
but
the
I was
thing
making fun
then?
of
The
you.
thing is mad.
Damn it, that's right. I couldn't think of the thing, okay? I'm very basic. Anyway, to my right, we have the one, the only. He cosplayed as Venom on his own personal YouTube channel, Mr. Rico. How you doing?
Salutations. Everybody don't panic. Just
And
look
you
at the
also
dead
do
light.
have a squid parasite on your head, so you are closer. You're closer to any of the heroes we talked about than anyone else here.
Yes, his name is Frank. He
Everybody
was
welcome
hanging
Frank.
around and wanted to join.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
What's happening? I'll come up with a voice
Am I
later.
recording? Okay, yeah, good. I
wiggle
just had to
those
make sure I'm
tentacles.
actually recording. I went full stupid there
I
for a
hope.
second.
But now,
Also, I was
not
going to
recording,
say
Hunter's
you
gonna punch
couldn't make mention of any X-Men, anything. I am wearing a Hellfire T-shirt.
You know I wouldn't
Or
have.
Stranger Things, if you can't even get that far with
No, I went with basic
I mean,
bitch.
that
I
is-
went with basic bitch Marvel characters because everybody knows every character I just spoke about.
Yeah, the Hellfire Club. You know, like Emma
Yeah.
Frost.
But truthfully, if
That's
you're
actually a
gonna
little
go
more.
that route,
That's more than surface knowledge right there, because that means you got deep into X-Men.
well, it is one.
I
of
mean,
the-
And
we spent
Hunter, you
okay,
do
what-
look like a truck stop American, ergo Captain America.
Sure, but if you're going to throw out a wild lie there with the whole wife beating thing, you really should have called me, Giant Man or Ant Man, and gone with the Hank Pym angle.
Oh God, I should have went with the Hank Pym. Oh,
Which,
Yeah.
just so you guys know, this is a fun fact that most people don't know, and it would be considered a deep cut of Marvel. Hank Pym was never meant to just fully beat Janet's ass. When the writer was putting that scene together and everything, it was supposed to be like an accidental type slap, like heat of the moment, oh shit, what did I do? I'm so sorry. But it was not conveyed that way to the pencilist. So when he got the script, he's like, oh, he's gonna beat this woman now. And that's why Hank Pym has been so hated ever since, because they didn't have time to go back and redo it all.
And I
That's why
mean,
when they
you could
introduce the
also.
character. Good.
Oh, I was going to say you could also take the Wanda Wanda and Pietro route in the Ultimates Expanse, where
No, you can't.
you know
No, you can't.
what's that? Oh
No,
no,
you can't.
but I'm saying as someone who looks like they may well have intimate relations with their sibling.
You know, if I was out here shouting Roll Tide on a daily, you could, and you got a 50-50 shot.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause,
I think we're gonna break from this conversation because this is going in a weird direction.
You started it.
That's fair.
It's
I would like
true,
to
you did. This is
apologize
your
for
fault.
the video viewers. I forgot to full screen the Discord video, so you get to see some. It just looks unprofessional. It doesn't look like what I tend to put out to our lovely viewer. So
You have a fucking vacuum cleaner to your right.
Yeah.
don't you
gonna
talk
say-
about Mr. Suck like that. He's here for medical purposes.
You're supposed to
And
put it
sure.
away before you turn on the webcam.
Sure.
And I'm going to say,
Medical.
over the course of a total of, let's say, 45 minutes of just trying to get levels right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, listen.
So-
if it weren't
so
for you
to-
assholes not actually like properly letting me level, then, well, ipso facto, fuck y'all. Anyway,
Well, let me
You
level
know
set
me,
with
I'm
everyone
always
else.
on the level.
Exactly.
Hunter, shut up. Glenn, how was your week?
No. If you're gonna
Yes.
insult all of us, I'm gonna turn this back around. So
Let's go.
Just
Let's
so
go, Macho
everyone
Man.
is aware.
Go.
I appreciate Macho Man. Can we go with that next time?
No.
This
I actually heard
podcast,
the music
just
when he
so
said
everyone
when
is
he introduced
aware,
you, I heard the music in the background.
appreciate it. This podcast is now being hosted by Officer Dewey, and he loves his vacuum.
Say nobody interrupt me.
You even have the facial hair for it.
Oh, shit.
Cleaning my room.
Oh, shit. All right. You get one.
Shots
That was a
fired.
good one.
Shots
That was
fired.
really good. Fuck, that's a deep cut.
I'm also gonna say, why is the inside of that vacuum cleaner like slightly wet? I can see the glisten from here, bro.
You know
That's the
why.
That's the light shining off it.
Wet back.
Yeah,
You know
something
why,
that
and none of
typically
us want
happens
him to
whenever
admit
it's
it.
wet. An oily sheen.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's like nothing ever happened.
Was that hard plastic or was that flexible, bro? that looked more like a sleeve. I'm just saying.
It
Glenn, how was
saves
your
them
week?
on consumables every week.
Glenn, how was your week?
Your vacuum cleaner's got me weak, bro. Jesus. So
God. And we have now entered the most cursed podcast.
So my week was spent enjoying Hogwarts Legacy. I was doing a bad guy run of the Hogwarts Legacy content. Turns out you can't be a bad guy in Hogwarts Legacy. You can just kind of be an asshole. You know,
that's lame.
apart from the fact of, yeah, like it's like, you know, oh, can somebody please find my gobstones? And then you find them, they're like, oh, did you find my gobstones? Yeah. Can I have them? Fuck no. And like that's the worst of it. And like nobody's gonna be like, oh, he's an asshole. He stole, you know, so and so's gobstones. No, you're just kind of like, oh, look, there's the chosen one. Oh, yes, the chosen one. And that's it. Like honestly,
You can adaver cadabra people as well.
well, yeah, but I mean, even if I was gonna say, even on the good route, you can do that as well. That's the
true.
even sillier part. Like at one point, maybe like one character thinks you're an asshole because you know you did the Cruciatus curse to his cousin brother, but you know he's blind, so nobody cares about him. So it's one of those things.
What? Rico, why does it always circle back to incest with these two? I'm just curious.
One's from
These
Texas, one's
two.
from Oklahoma.
He starts it every
Those
time.
pureblood wizarding families, is a fine mesh weave that that is exchanged amongst the there's like 10 maybe 15 wizarding bloodlines that are still pure. Like I'm just saying, it was quoted inside the books that what was it, Ron's dad was technically like Sirius Black's cousin or something like that. It was, yeah, like
So
it's one of those
basically,
things.
it's
That's the
basically
reason why
English
Goyle and
Spanish
everybody looks so
monarchy.
goofy. That's actually, yeah, that's very accurate. That they keep it in the family.
Yeah, they really do. So apart from that, since the last podcast that I was on, I watched all 4 movies that were in High on Life, to include Tammy and the T-Rex, Demon Wind, which is fucking perfect, by the way, in the presentation that that they added in, because in the movie they don't actually show the movie. They have like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 presentation where there's like 3 aliens that are in theater and they talk over the entire movie, and it's great. It's fucking great. What was it? What was the other things? It was like vampire hookers, and I think this one horror movie. It was like Blood Harvest. Ah, that's what it was. Blood Harvest, which had Tiny Tim as the cover art character. And I'm not quite sure how much I can spoil, seeing as the movie's been around since what, 1980 something.
Sounds accurate.
Do you think it would be okay if I spoiled it?
I don't think anybody listening to this podcast even knows what you're talking about, so feel free.
People listen
Excellent.
to this?
Right?
It
Did
turns
we
out
get a
that
viewer?
It
One.
turns out Tiny Tim, the ukulele player who's stalking the main female character who has her tits out for most of the movie, turns out that he isn't the killer. It's in fact his brother. And Tiny Tim
Is that Big
saves him.
John?
What?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. That joke is so inside that you may have just hit the guy at bat. So it's man. What else did I do this week? Let's see. Been watching a lot of crazy new what is it called? Crazy new trailers for games coming up. One of which Silent Hill 2 that you just showed me.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking perfect. What was the other game? There was one more. It evades me at the moment. Fucking Kenshi. Have you played Kenshi yet?
Kenshi?
Kenshi came out in 20.
No, I know of it. I've seen it played multiple times. I don't think I have the cojones for it.
Let me tell you, buddy.
I don't want robots to peel my flesh off.
I'm just going to say this. Why did I go blurry there?
You took your glasses off.
No, I didn't. I wiped my nose.
I know that's a joke because you're blind.
Just in one eye. Oddly enough, I could get away with a monocle if I really wanted to. And so,
Good thing you don't.
Yeah, basically, if I do this, 2020. Well, 20, just 20, not 2020. Wait, yes, it is 2020. But this one, it's like 2050 or something like that. Anyways. But yeah, Kenshi looks to be really interesting. Came out in 2018, kind of a sleeper hit. I wishlisted it with the intention of possibly getting it, and also ordered some new gloves for my striking class.
Hayabusa? You have Captain America gloves?
No, it's Hayabusa. Hayabusa, the
it is Hayabusa?
Hayabusa, yeah, Hayabusa gloves.
Are they the Captain America edition?
No, they're just black Hayabusa gloves.
If they haven't shipped yet, just so you know, Sensei Seth on YouTube has a discount code for Hayabusa, fightwear, so you can get a solid discount on them. It's like 10 or 20%. Like it's a decent discount.
Yeah, especially since MSRP they're like $70. Okay, I'll look into that. You said, can you send me that link on the chat?
Sensei Seth. I've shared some of his videos in the general chat before.
Excellent. Yeah, but I mean, other than that, maybe one week's been pretty boring. Just stuff going on.
Hold up.
Nothing too.
Well, I haven't looked through this general channel in a while. I need some context.
Okay.
Of course.
Why am I looking at a pink G-string that only rides up the side of one hip on this man?
That was in reference to the side sling.
We made a joke about you wearing the Borat bikini, and then we just got onto a whole tangent with the nut sling.
All right, fair.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
I thought you were there for that.
Sense. I might have been, but that was probably the night where the cat jumped on my wife mid-recovery and the dog ran under the fence. And so I immediately had to drop out of the podcast.
Oh my God, yeah, that was the night.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, for the sake of speed, let's go over to Hunter next, since he hasn't been with us for some time. Send it.
So, I was definitely late to the podcast tonight because I had to go to Target to go buy another headset that has a cable that will attach to it. Because for whatever stupid reason, on my computer, all of my audio jacks, none of them work on the motherboard for whatever reason. So that was a great thing to find out today. And then for whatever reason, any Bluetooth headset that I connect to this PC, no matter what I try to do or change or update drivers, change them out, anything like that, there's just a faint, awful hum no matter what. And so to tie this back to the podcast, I am auditioning for some audio dramas for voice character roles, and I'm trying to record the audio for it, and I just hear this awful hum in the background. I'm like, is this and like the tinniness of it because of like the recording software, or because my headphones make me want to drive my head through a wall? So I decided to go get headphones right before this podcast so I can then record the auditions.
Didn't your motherboard already come with audio input built into it?
Yeah,
But
and
then
it's
you
even
took
on the
the-
front of the case, but none of
And
them.
then you took the jack off then.
All the time. But no, they won't work. It's wonderful. I love it. So
Excellent.
that's
You might want to check your wiring there, homie.
Yeah, that's
sounds like a
indicative
wiring issue.
of a power short.
if it's literally connected to the motherboard and I'm plugging it into like the back of the PC into the stupid audio jack.
Where's your
Actually, I can see
power
what- I
supply
can see
sitting
what's
with
wrong with
respect to the audio processor on your motherboard?
It is here. That is 7 inches above it. 8 or 9 if any prospective ladies are listening to this podcast.
And
what the problem
what
is,
is the what company or what
Who made your MOBO?
service?
It's an Asus motherboard. It's got Realtek drivers in it, but it's
Right.
just a pain in the ass. So that's why we were late tonight. But yeah, that all
Right.
goes to say.
No,
I've
that
been listening.
actually wasn't what my question was about. It was
Okay.
what service or what company are you doing your audio drama with?
Scyther Audio. I'd mentioned them before. They do like the Power Rangers and X-Men, Kamen Rider, or they call it Masked Rider, and they just started an Avengers audio drama as well. So I'm auditioning for a couple roles in the Avengers one, and then probably in the X-Men one as well whenever new scripts drop.
You want to hook a brother up because I've been trying to break into that field for a hot minute.
Sure. Can you do a Norwegian accent?
I wouldn't even know.
Fair. Like half the roles on this upcoming episode require a Norwegian accent, and I was like, I can't really think.
I don't even know what that sounds like. I mean, what does a Norwegian accent sound like? Can you give us a taste?
Well, no, because I'm clearly not auditioning for that.
It's like Helmsworth. It's Helmsworth, and then you're just tuning it up to like about around a 13.
Mix
Okay,
a little
all right.
Swedish in there for fun.
All right, hit us with
Yeah.
the big tasty. What?
Like
How do you do that?
I don't know.
I appreciate the
Flurfin'
attempt.
Yargin. Something like that.
Yeah. So
I have a
Muppet.
Norwegian friend, and when he speaks Norwegian, it sounds exactly
Oh.
like that.
Yeah, you got to speak like this chef on the Muppets.
Yeah, no, dude, it sounds so much like Swedish Chef. It's not even funny.
So, like, a little bit of Mennonite thrown inside there.
Yes, it's like mixing Swedish with Mennonite.
I have the
So I
link.
went down
Now you're
to
a
the
computer
store,
hunter, I
you
do
know.
think it's wrong with
No,
it, though.
It
That was
sounds
just
Midwestern.
Canadian.
Right? Yeah. I mean, practically.
Oh yeah, don't you know it?
Hey,
I think you're in the wrong part of the world, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm trying to
Moving
record
on.
those.
Good hunter.
So that'll be fun if it ever actually works.
definitely.
And I've also been really bored lately, so I've been rewatching all of the X-Men movies, and I am very, very glad to have gotten to First Class and Days of Future Past.
I've been doing the exact
Boy, the
same
first three
thing.
were rough. Here you go. See? Wait, shit. No, this is not a great mind situation. This reflects poorly on me.
It does.
This is likely influence from the Fox Universe marketing department, silently telling everybody to go watch all the former Fox movies
Not too far
during
off.
the Deadpool movie. I'm just gonna say that.
Pretty much.
wait,
hey,
I gotta
guys,
do the
here's
proper product
Blade.
placement shot.
I'm sorry,
There
I
you
can
go.
never forget. I can
Hey,
never
guys,
forgive
you
Fox
remember
when
Blade?
Wolverine-
Hey guys, you remember Wolverine whenever he was cooler?
No, when he forgot who Sabretooth was. Yeah, that was lame.
Hey guys, you remember Elektra? I remember.
Yeah, the member berries were
Literally no
strong
one
with that one.
remembered her.
Keep going, Hunter.
Strong.
I started watching Inside Out 2 with my kids, and I don't know if you guys watched the first Inside Out, but it was a great animation film. And the second one was started off great. I only managed to get like 45 minutes into it because the emotions were too much for my kiddo and it was scaring him. So he's like, "Can we watch something else?" So sure, I guess. But it's really fun because the second film is when they're now like pre-teenagers, and so you see the girl. She's trying to understand these new emotions that she has and that she's feeling as she's starting to go through puberty and mature and everything else. And like her friends are getting ready to move away, so she's trying to make the decision. Do I try to stick by them and enjoy our one last summer together, or do I try to make friends on this sports team that I'm now on and try to like leave them behind? And that tug that you get. Trying to maintain those relationships between or create new ones. And so it started off really well. I was actually really excited for it. I'm going to have to circle back around to it and finish it this weekend by myself. But I really enjoyed what I did get to watch of it so far. Uh, have any of you seen Watchmen Chapter 1 yet? The
Not
new
yet.
animated film?
No, but it sounds like homework.
It is so incredibly cool. It just takes everything from the book and they're like, what if we made it a shot for shot reenactment? And every scene is just going to linger about 20 seconds too long. So everyone has time to appreciate what they're seeing. It is so slow. It is so methodical. But if you enjoy the Watchmen story, it is so worth your time. It's so great.
Okay.
Is it a movie or is it a couple of episodes?
It's an animated movie, and it's only the first half of the movie. So like it's worth it. I don't think the other one's supposed to drop for another few months at the very least. But it is gorgeous animation. I highly recommend that you watch it for that alone. Even if you don't enjoy the story, that part was just great.
And again, you're saying it's
Watchmen was amazing.
And you're saying it's like verbatim, shot for shot, word for word from the
We
book.
talked about the trailer like 4 episodes ago.
No, I know that. We just never watched it. Man, hey, I'm asking questions. That's the whole point
Listen,
of this
Squidward.
podcast. We ask questions, all right?
Listen,
we haven't seen
Squidward.
Hunter in 3 weeks. We haven't seen Hunter or her Hunter in 3 weeks. He pops in, pops out. Like that weird uncle sometimes, but still.
He does
It's
have
true.
that weird uncle look to him.
Now you get
Let
to
him have
experience
his time to shine.
my sweet buttery baritone for the whole episode.
That's right. I need
Yeah.
Macho Man. I need Macho Man.
Does.
You,
He
with
looks like
that
the sort of
face
guy that
saying
had to
buttery
reassure my
baritone
wife
is something that
that,
should never be uttered again.
That he's okay to
Buttery
be around the
baritone.
kids.
He's definitely
Sweet
not,
buttery
though.
baritone. Buttery
Dude,
baritone.
when you laugh, your entire face just turns into Ned Flanders.
It does. You're not wrong. Yeah. I also watched Deadpool and Wolverine on opening night. I don't remember if I got to talk to you guys about that. I don't believe I did.
We already spoke extensively about it. So you say
I assume
what you
that
think.
you did. And I'm going to leave the film where it lies because I thought it was incredibly pointless, but still kind of fun. But what I absolutely loved about it was
Sacrilege.
the experience of going to the movie theater felt nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the mall. It was 8 o'clock at night, 8:30, whenever it was. It was totally packed. I had to wait in line to get my ticket from a kiosk because I had already paid for it, my seat and everything ahead of time. The line was out the door for concessions. I sat down and everybody was like cheering and hooting and hollering for all of the trailers. Nobody shut the fuck up through the entire movie.
Nice.
It was awesome. But the whole time I'm sitting there like, man, did COVID really screw us over this badly that after only a couple of years, it feels nostalgic to be at a movie theater watching a Marvel film?
Right.
This is crazy. But the
Well,
whole
and let's be
time,
fair,
I was on
the
cloud
last
nine
time
just because of the audience participation.
Oh yeah, well let's be fair. The last time that there was a Marvel movie where people actually kind of did that for was Endgame.
Yeah. Well, No Way Home had it. Not as much, but it definitely still had it.
I don't honestly think you can really count No Way Home as a Marvel movie at this point since they're done with Spider-Man. Like it falls into the chronology.
Didn't they just recently introduce the next Spider-Man?
Wait, did they?
I don't
I
think
believe they did.
they
No.
haven't
Wait,
introduced
Holland's
Miles
out?
Morales. No, he's not out. They confirmed that July 2026 is going to be the date for Spider-Man 4. It is going to be a multiverse film, and it's going to introduce Miles Morales to the franchise.
Oh,
Yeah. Hold
So
on.
that'll
who's
be
gonna
really
play
fun.
Miles?
Probably not Donald Glover, unfortunately. I think he's aged out of the role at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's more for the uncle.
Yeah.
It's still James Prowler. What the fuck?
You okay over there, big guy?
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna interject real quick. Miles Morales, yes, I'm waiting for it. Look, you can make fun of me all you want, but that's a Puerto Rican superhero. Another one in the books. So I can't wait to see who's going to cast him.
I am curious.
So here's the new casting. That essentially Hunter Thames, the one who was the Spider-Man actor in What If, he is likely going to be our new Spider-Man.
Live action.
Yep.
Interesting.
What's his name?
Hudson Thames.
Hudson.
I liked him better a moment ago.
Apparently, he's a singer.
Interesting.
You want honestly? He's not dark enough for Miles.
He's not Miles. He's Spider-Man.
Wait, that he's gonna play Peter Parker?
He is going to play the new Peter Parker.
Oh, cool. So glad that I'm a Spider-Man fan. That is not fucking Peter Parker.
That's the literal definition of judging the book by its cover.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't like his look.
In an article by GamingBible.com, the article is titled Marvel quietly announces new name for our MCU Spider-Man replacement.
I don't like it. I'm reserving judgment until I see him in action.
Motherfucker, you didn't reserve judgment. You immediately judged him and said you're out.
That's fair.
Yeah. Not even that.
I'm
You
just
went
looking
straight
at the
for
guy.
color.
He looks like he's out.
What did Rico say?
He said you went
So
full MAGA.
Yeah, you went straight for the
MAGA.
color.
I thought he was
You're
playing
like,
Miles.
hold on, he can't play Miles Morales. And then he said, no, he's gonna play Peter Parker. Oh, I'm done. I'm okay. I know enough. He's not my Spider-Man.
He's not my Spider-Man. Listen, Donald Glover will always be my Miles Morales. It'll never happen anymore, but he will always be my Miles Morales.
Well, he also played the literal Prowler in Across the Spider-Verse.
I know. And in the live action,
My
too.
thing, I'm gonna be honest with you. My thing is trying to find somebody who's gonna be black and Hispanic.
It's possible.
You know that's what this is gonna happen.
What about the dude from...
Because he has to be Puerto Rican.
No, hold up. What about the guy from Detective Pikachu? Isn't he Latino black mix?
No, he's black and white.
Really?
Justice Smith.
Justice Smith, that's his
I'm
name.
just going to say, with my grandpa being an Egyptian Arab, and maybe 2 coffee creams short of Barack Obama, and my grandmother being a short lady who sounds like Elmo with a Mexican accent, I could technically pass as a black Mexican guy.
All right, so moving on. I also want to go ahead and talk about Fall Guy. Have you guys watched that?
Joking.
The Ryan Reynolds film.
Ryan Gosling, but you were close.
Ryan Gosling.
Oh,
It
no,
used to be
no.
a TV show, right?
I know the one. No, I haven't watched
Yes, back in like the 70s. It's with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, and he's a stuntman. The whole movie's about him being a stuntman and them having an off again, on again relationship due to an accident that he has at the beginning of the film, and also trying to solve a missing persons case. Like that's why he was brought on to set for this film that they're trying to shoot. And it's great because if you guys remember the film The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe from like I think it was like 2018, 2019. It's the first film he's been in like that, in a very similar role. He played the same type of character archetype. I loved it. It is the role that Ryan Gosling was born for. And also he gets to kiss ladies. So like he's always going to get hired in these roles as well because he looks great while doing it. But it was like a true blue romantic comedy blockbuster film that we used to get in like the 90s and early 2000s. And it does not belong in this time period because that's just not where cinema's at right now. And it didn't make a whole lot of money because of it, because it's not a major like big IP franchise film, but it was awesome. Like it had everything that you wanted from just I don't care what happens. I just want to watch a really fun movie that's going to be entertaining and funny and have some cool action scenes. And the guy gets to kiss a girl at the end, and I just want to turn my brain off for an hour and a half. And it checked every single box.
You know what's funny? Like whenever you talk about how handsome Ryan Gosling is, I mean, if I had to pick a guy, right? But no,
It'd be Hugh Jackman.
As much as I find him extremely attractive, my wife does not. She
Weird.
looks at him. She's like, what do you mean? Why do you think he's attractive? I was like, I think he's really attractive. Like him and what's his face? The other guy, not Heath Ledger, but the other guy in Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Gosling are like my top two best looking male actors. If I had to pick
no,
guys.
see, I would honestly disagree. It would be, if you want to go on the older scale, Hugh Jackman, and if you want to go on the unfortunately dead scale, Heath Ledger.
What a wild twist this podcast has taken today.
I know, right?
Somehow,
come on, guys, let's talk about boys.
No, against all probability, he just teed up my next topic, which is Twisters.
Oh shit!
Have you all seen
Twisters? Twister, I don't even know her.
I have not, but my son saw it and he said it was really good.
It is amazing, and Glenn Powell. I am a married man. I am monogamous.
I already like the guy.
know
He's got a great name.
Oh my god! But if he wanted to come up to me and tell me he was a tornado wrangler, I wouldn't stop him. I'd be down for that night. Like, holy shit, what a great film. And he did such a great job as a lead actor in that movie. And I am so glad that he got his break in Top Gun Maverick, and like he's starting to break into like the action roles. He seems like he's going to be the next generation version of Ryan Gosling. Like as he ages out of those roles, Glenn Powell's just going to like swoop right in and take him over.
How old is he?
Yeah, because he looks like he's
early to mid 30s probably. Like he's definitely younger than
older than Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Let's look it up.
Well, and while he does that, so so Rico, who's your man crush of the week?
Shoot, actually, I'm not gonna lie. What's his name? Alan, messing it up.
Alan
Rickerson.
Alan Tudyk?
No.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, from Reacher.
Richards. That's
I actually went back and watched Reacher. For some reason I saw Tom Cruise advertised on Netflix for his Reacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched that, kind of like have a sleep. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and watch season 2 again, and see what the hell Hunter's talking about, because I really didn't feel season 2 was better than season 1. But after watching it, I was like, you know what? This dude right here could play Commando. Like if they do a remake, it gave me Commando. It gave me kind of Commando vibes, which I wish it would have been. Again, not saying it's bad. If they would have made it to where he's investigating each member that he's killed or whatever, kind of like the opening of Commando, I think that would have been better on that.
I'm just gonna say I have Commando vibes every single day.
So what you're really saying is you just wanna have him embrace you and his big strong man muscles, because it's the only way you can really feel safe and secure.
I mean, if he carries me like Arnold Schwarzenegger carried that one log, hey, cool, hey, carry me please. I want to feel safe. Especially when my knees are hurting. Yeah, hey, dude, I'm gonna carry you. Oh, please do, yes.
I actually shook that man's hand, Arnold Schwarzenegger, whenever he was over in Kuwait, whenever I was stationed over there for a year. Like he was doing some sort of like green energy deal thing where they were like, changing out all the lights, and he was standing on this platform. I walked up to him. I was like, "Hey, thanks for coming out." I shook his hand, and he was like, "Thank you," And then after that, he like talked to a guy next to him, and then ran into the crowd and started shaking hands. I gave Arnold Schwarzenegger an idea, and so I can say that is one of my achievements in life.
Nice.
We used to live near him in Idaho.
I believe it.
We did. We used to stare at his vacation house from across the lake.
It was literally right across from our house on the other side of the water.
It was the literal definition of not being like of that zip code.
Yeah.
You could see the difference from one side of the lake to the next.
And if you stared really hard, you could see the ghost of his ex-Kennedy wife floating across the water like a ghostly banshee.
Wait, she died?
No, I'm saying that she's like scary thin, like weird.
Ghost of marriage is past.
Yeah, the ghost of marriage is past.
But
God.
So other than
the
beautiful body of Glenn Powell, I really appreciated Twisters. Like it was a really good. It was technically a sequel because they have the machine from the first film, Dorothy, where like it opens and they have all the sensors flutter up into the tornado.
The Dorothy 1 or Dorothy 2?
Dorothy, I think it was called Dorothy 3 in the film. So it was one more iteration up on it, I believe. But
in 20 years, the only one iteration of Dorothy.
They didn't have
Seriously?
the funding. I don't know what to tell you.
What the
But
fuck?
what I was not expecting was whenever Glenn Powell, because he's a fucking YouTuber in the movie, which I just thought was hilarious the whole time. He's live streaming the tornadoes. He drives into the tornado, digs himself into the ground inside of the truck, so they can show you what it's like to be in a tornado, and then to have his big moment for the audience that's watching. They launch fireworks inside of the tornado, so like you get to see the fireworks going off from the outside of the tornado. Like, this is the most ridiculous bullshit I've ever seen, but also like it's
That's a
pretty
YouTube
damn
thing.
realistic. Like, I could see YouTube
No, it
creators
isn't.
doing this.
Yeah, right.
No, because of the fact that the
Mr. Beast,
the
try not to
RF
get thrown out of the tornado challenge.
right, because the RF interference from the tornado and all the static and all the water and all the bullshit would eat up his little cell phone signal like the fucking Dickens. That is not realistic.
Okay, let me
You
clarify
sound like
this.
me with
The
Reacher.
idea of going into the tornado, not getting sucked up in F5, and launching fireworks inside of it, yes, that is not realistic. However, stupid people being stupid enough to drive a vehicle inside of the tornado to launch some fireworks so people will give them ad revenue on a vlogging platform, 1000% can see that happening. I don't think they're going to make it out the other side alive, but 1000% can see it happening.
In before the this really happens in real life.
Oh, it will.
Somebody tries to and like it hits the news and it's like, beloved YouTuber Mr. Beast killed in horrific tornado accident. If only, and at that point, you know, he'd lived on in infamy, never able to recover his image.
Don't
Poor
give Chris
bastard.
So the other thing that was fun about
Fuck
it,
Mr. Beast.
the other thing that was fun about it was since I'm in Oklahoma, I got to recognize some of the areas that they were in, and like they shot in El Reno right near where I'm at for part of it and everything else. So like the small town vibes that they were trying to give off were actual small town vibes. So that was really cool. And then
Did you get a small role as an extra as Hick number 17?
I did not, unfortunately.
No, he was Kitty Diddler number 5.
Why do we keep going back to this? Well, you gotta pick something new. It's just not okay at this point. If you
you're
keep
the
throwing
one
out the
wearing
universe,
aviator glasses and have the stereotypical "please enter my child abduction van" look.
first of all,
I'm
they're not
just gonna-
aviators. But here, I can replace them if it'll make you feel that much better.
Dude,
To
if
know
you
what's
pull out a
going on.
trench coat. Now, see, that's better. Now you look like hipster trash.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's
I was
what I'm
gonna
going
say,
for.
He went from Ed Gein to maybe he'll do a guy.
Where's Glenn
Depends on
Powell when you
that
need
day.
him?
And the one last thing for my week was a question for you guys.
Okay.
Why did Cyclops bring a camera to a picnic?
Why?
He wanted to capture every eye-opening moment.
Okay, you want to pass that week off there, good sir?
Please.
No, I'm enjoying the awkwardness. I'm basking in it. You guys trying to get through that joke was just great. That made my week.
That was
All
horrid.
right. And because I don't like him and I want to stroke your tentacles, Rico, what have you been up to?
Oh,
Heyo.
if I had a nickel for every time somebody says "stroke my tentacles," probably have a quarter by now. But my
I
week
think
is
I've only said it 3 times, so don't give yourself too much credit.
damn, just humbled me right there. He picks me up and then humbles me. Oh, feels good. Anyways, not much. School year started for the kids, so we're going through this. Second week, I think it's now. It's over. Now we got Labor Day weekend. Actually got to do some training for my position. Oh,
Nice.
shit. Don't like that. Which we call a Haswhopper. So we didn't dress out since it was just an 8-hour refresher. But I usually love these trainings because you get to meet the instructors. Some veterans, some not, but I love the fact that these guys have been in the game for 30, 40 years and they have wild stories, especially the ones that are like from the 70s and 80s on how like the United States has done some bad stuff. Again, the whole I don't see it, I don't deal with it. They create zombies and stuff like that. So it was great to hear. Plus, the instructor we had, he was a former Ranger, and he said after he got medically retired, he was like, I had one choice. What do I want to do? Do I want to? I forgot the one choice he made. He's like, I can just drive plutonium around. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. At least I get paid more than working at Walmart or something. But other than that, the place I work at, we have the overlords, or one of them, for accreditations over there. So tomorrow's the last day. So far, so good, and nobody has said nothing about the program I run.
Nice.
Not that it not necessarily matter to me, because again, when it comes to inspections, I welcome them. I don't think you ever can get 100% on an inspection. If you do, you're either lucky or you've been hiding some stuff. So just been dealing with that. Yeah, a lot of kind of calls and demands of, hey, we need some help here, and I'm like, no. Inspections come, you're on your own in a sense. But real quick, The Boys, up to season 3, episode 5.
Okay.
Let me see what I wrote down. Homelander's on the loose. Don't trust nobody. They did my dude wrong. Forgot Supersonic. I forgot his real name, but yeah, I didn't expect that. But because A-Train, I figured he was starting to see like Homelander's there. But again, not to get too much into it, but it's like, again, with somebody that's in an abusive relationship, you see where the loyalty lies and stuff. So between him and Deep, that shit is making me laugh right there. It's like two brothers trying to fight over the love of older brother or dad or whatever. But definitely has the loose morals and ethics question in there between the serum being consumed by Butch and also now Huey. So that's funny. Reacher, again, I rewatched it. Again, I gave it an 8.75 out of 10. This maybe sound picky, but the reason why, and this is one of the reasons why I asked Hunter about the books, was the rank. The scene in the bar threw me off. Because the first thing I realized was, why was the officer picking on the master sergeant female? Like, it seemed off for a minute there. The reason why I say that is because I get it's an officer club. Officers don't want you in there. When we were in, you had your enlisted club or NCO club, and that's where you go. Problem is the cast they have, they act more like privates are lower enlisted than officers. And then when I was going back and I was watching the campfire scene after the fight, from what I can tell, all of them were wearing major rank except for the master sergeant, the woman, Neely. So again, it threw me off because again, with matter of fact, and I'll move on to my rest of my week. This is the part that made me laugh. You had what's his name, Franzi.
Yeah.
His name. The reason why he was picked was because he stopped a fight in the barracks over a cookie. Now, if I put my logic into it, and that's why I said it was bugging me. Yeah, that was the reason why he stopped two guys from fighting, because later on it's discovered that he ate the cookie that was in a care package, and he stopped them. So I literally paused the thing, and I looked at my wife. I was like, "That's something
That's some
private
shit,
a sergeant E4 whatever E6 would do. Like, hey, we're not gonna fight. No." And I gave him credit. I was like, no lieutenant should be in the barracks unless you're doing some type of security duties. Then I realized, like, hold on, he wasn't a lieutenant, he was a major. So what the hell is a major in the barracks eating a cookie? Again, maybe that's a little bit. I feel like maybe that's like kind of like a Madam Web kind of thing, where I'm like, they had that fireworks scene, and the way they had their whole triage, whatever, and how the guy got hit by a semi. I'm like, you didn't cordon off nothing. It didn't seem real at all. That's the only part I got it. But again, Commando vibes.
I'm going to say that with some of the fuck games that I've seen, living in the barracks during AIT, you can't say nothing is ever going to not happen, because I've seen, like, this is some of the zaniest shit I've ever seen in my entire life happen inside of a barrack. One which this one guy who never showered after PT and would just like sweat in his bed, and he stunk to high hell. His roommates got sick and tired of it, and so they skid marked the dude's pillow, and then he laid in it, and all of a sudden there was a huge investigation. We had to pull security on our rooms because somebody pooed inside of this dude's bed. And it was even sillier because of the fact that our platoon motto was PHB, PT Haircuts and Barracks. But then it turned into poo in this guy's last name bed.
I mean, and I get that.
That was on the weekend I was supposed to get married. Like, quite literally, they had like remedial training where everybody was restricted to post, and like that entire like subsection of the company. It was like half the freaking training company was restricted to post. I was supposed to go get married. All the leave passes were canceled, and I only threw the good natured my good natured name was I remember my platoon sergeant. He was like, Han, I'm not gonna let. Oh shit! You're gonna have to bleep that out, Nico.
You said your last name on the podcast before.
Okay, good.
All right, so to my point on that part, real quick, hold on. To my point, I get that part, but in
this is the end of the story. I promise. Last singer, he looked at me. He was like, "Private, I'm not going to let somebody else's shit handle your ruin your day of happiness," and that was the reason why I got to go. And I missed that entire weekend of training because he knew I didn't do it. That's the long and short. That's the story. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But even in the context of the story, again, there was no officer in the mix. The other thing, the last example I would give is when they're in the officers club. You have the two other Spanish guys. I don't think Franzi's probably Italian or whatever. You know, my own guess. But you have the two other guys who are Spanish. The bald-headed guy, he's in his ACUs, but he's in a wife beater.
Mm-hmm.
Like the majority of the scenes, if you go back and look, when he's playing cards with the other guy, when he's in the officer club, when he's at the campfire, he's wearing a wife beater. So again, if you're a major, how are you out of uniform? And then that was my other thing. I got mad at the character that was the bald-headed black guy, the officer, because I'm like, you don't see this blatant uniform issue, but you automatically said she needs to go.
I will say this.
Just seemed weird. Again,
in every Hollywood movie, there was always something wrong with their uniform, and they do that on purpose, so they don't disrespect the uniform. So, like, I mean, dude, you look at any film that they have military inside there, and they'll have like naval insignia mixed together with army insignia.
My favorite is when they have the collar on the ACUs, like folded up and clasped. I'm like, oh my fucking god, that drives me crazy whenever I see that.
They always do something wrong with the uniform, and that is purposely done. So you cannot call out uniform deficiencies in a Hollywood movie.
No, I get that. I get that. But see, my thing is not necessarily rank; it's the behavior. It doesn't make sense. You handpicked. I get he handpicked different people from different MOSs that he wanted, plus the way their attitude is. But you pick officers that are acting like enlisted. It would have made more sense, even if they got the rank wrong. It would have made more sense to make them lower enlisted, throwing an E7, an E5, E6, an E4 that's been in the same rank for 10 years or whatever like that. You know, even if it's like reserves or whatever. That'd make more sense than making everybody a major except for her, and then just saying, "Hey, you're gonna act like a private in front of the scenario."
Yeah, but I mean, you're discounting the machismo of our dear brothers in arms over in combat arms, because I've heard some stories, and that sort of bullshit would totally.
But see, there you go. There you go. If it was combat arms, I can understand. I understand how artillery was. That's all male. No female. At least when I was in, there was no females there, so I get that part. But again, he picked people that were not combat arms, except for I think the one guy they call Old Man, because he was a better shooter than everybody else. That's it. So even with the combat arms, again, I want to go move on from this, but that's the only reason why the ranking was kind of like that. It's not necessarily the rank, because again, Samuel Jackson was a specialist. He played a sergeant major that had specialist rank in this one movie with John Travolta, but it's just the behavior. It felt off. That's my only thing. I mean, that's nitpicking.
one way that you can help resolve this
I've also
headcanon.
seen several sergeant majors with specialist rank, but that's neither here nor there.
One way you can resolve the headcanon is the fact that throughout the books, it's constantly discussed the fact that Reacher would get himself promoted, and then he would do something to go against the grain to get himself demoted. Constantly throughout his military career. That's why he ended where he was at. So it would also make sense that when he formed the 110th Special Investigations Unit, that they were expecting him to fail, and they were wanting him to fail so they could demote him at the time, which effectively they were able to by the end of the season. But when he was putting that group together, if he's looking for like-minded individuals, they're going to be the misfits and the outcasts of their rank or their general specialty that he's wanting to bring them in for. So them acting in a way that you would not expect of their rank would probably fit with Reacher's mentality of who he wanted to bring into the fold.
I don't know. I think you know what I think we're applying logic to something that's illogical, and
I said headcanon for a reason.
Any argument either for or against Rico's original proposition is likely moot. So we understand how you feel, though, dude.
Yeah. Watch the movie Jackpot. Have you guys watched that one yet with John Cena, Aquafina?
No,
I actually
I forgot about it.
It was really good. I actually thought it was really good. Crazy that only California. I mean, the central basis about it is California comes up actually in 2023 a lottery to where all you do is buy like a ticket, and if you are selected, you win X amount of money. But you have until sundown to collect it.
You have to stay alive till sundown.
Yeah. You have to last till sundown because if anybody kills you, they can get your jackpot, but they can't shoot you. So it's all like hand-to-hand combat, stab, or whatever. They have authorization to kill you to get your jackpot and stuff. So Aquafina comes in, not knowing what's going on because she's been taking care of her sick mother, wins the highest jackpot, and so John Cena comes and rescues her. And basically, it's a race against time while everybody's looking for her because your position gets, I guess it gets pinged every 15 minutes or whatever, so everybody knows where you're at no matter what.
Yeah, there's a drone that follows you around, so your feed is constantly being broadcast. You're being GPS tracked. John Cena is a private security company. Basically, that's what he's representing. And so, like, he's saving her as people are trying to kill her once she realized that she was the jackpot for the lottery. And so he's saving her while trying to explain the terms and conditions of the contract she's about to sign and everything else. And it is really funny. It's like
I can see the advantage of having John Cena as your bodyguard because nobody would see him.
Exactly. Comes out of nowhere. What I really loved about it is that it's a action comedy version of The Purge, basically.
Okay.
And that made it really fun.
I would say with that, with mixing with Rumble in the Bronx. I got Rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Vibe from it.
Did you watch? I think it came out in December or November. Self-Reliance. It's a film with it's written, directed, and starred by the Nick from New Girl. I can't remember his name right now. But the whole premise of the film is that you just one day will have a limo brought up to you and they're like, hey, get in the vehicle. And it's Wayne Brady. And so you're like, okay, cool. Absolutely. I'll get in the vehicle with you. And
does Wayne Brady have to beat a bitch?
And he takes you to a warehouse where there's these Swedish guys and they explain to him, hey, you have 30 days to survive, and if you do, you win X amount of money. It was like $1 million or $10 million, whatever it was. And they play this game with various people, and there are assassins that will be trying to kill you. They cannot kill you if you are in the presence of any other individual. It doesn't matter who they are. If you can be seen by them, they cannot kill you. It's only when you're alone. And so the whole film is him trying to figure out how he can stay with his family or these other people that he met who say that they're also part of this game and everything else. And so it had a very similar vibe to Jackpot, and I really enjoyed both films. So I would recommend it both.
I have to go back to the Self-Reliance. I know which one you're talking about, the Self-Reliance, because it's got a couple other people in that one. I'm going to put that on my list too. Hold
Yeah.
as far as
So,
wrestling, I don't know if you
like,
guys.
oh, go ahead. I
Oh,
was going to make a quip about Aquafina's voice agent, and what exactly does that guy have on every other movie or animated producer in Hollywood? Because she seems to keep popping up in places whenever it comes to voice acting.
she's likable. I mean, her accent is her accent. I think that's what makes, even though people hate it, is part of her appeal. Like I joked around with somebody else, it's a classic New York City accent. When you have different cultures that are mixed in with each other, especially, I'll even add like as far as different kids coming from from immigrant parents that you're hanging out with other kids, American kids, whatever. You're going to get Americanized, whatever. Like I feel like it's not on the same level, but it's just like with what was that Jamie Kennedy's movie, the one that Malibu's Most Wanted. Like he never had really a relationship with his parents. It was always, and the one person that he hung out with was the black woman that was the the housemaid or whatever. And so he was enthralled with that culture, and that's what produced him on that one. So Aquafina, I feel like is the same way. She grew up in New York. That's how she is. But you also got to look at other movies too, because there's one where she did. I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was called, but basically she goes back to China because her grandma's dying, and there's a thing where they don't tell their elders bad news, and so she's coming from America, coming back to China. It's her against her folks or whatever because she wants to tell her grandmother the truth, and they're like, you can't. And so it's her trying to get back to her roots of being culture versus her in America. She's like, why would you not? If we were in America, you would have told them, and then they'd be like, well, in America, she would have died already because you worry them and stuff like that. So it's better not to know than to know. But in that one, her voice didn't even play a role. I mean, she really played a good emotional role. I felt she played a good emotional role in that one. But also, I agree that they should have made a Kung Fu Panda 4. I feel that was just like, no, you didn't even make it. Moving right along. Oh, speaking of John Cena, he was on Club Shay Shay. I don't know if you guys partake in the Club Shay Shay interviews. Is with Shannon Sharp. He was a former football player. His famous thing is with Cat Williams when Cat Williams basically just came after everybody. Which shocked me. I don't know why. It just shocked me that he was interviewing John Cena. But man, I ain't gonna lie, that interview was freaking awesome. Did not know he tied the record with Ric Flair of winning the most titles
Oh.
Yeah,
now.
it's because he had the United States Championship, and they had the gimmick where every week it was an open challenge for someone to try and get the belt off him.
Mhm.
And also, I piped in at the perfect time because I was lowering my desk to sit down.
Hey, don't wanna see
But yeah, he constantly had title defenses every single week for like a year straight, basically.
So he says waiting for his chance at to get 17. Doesn't care who he faces, but he says that's like a year long road. He's not. It wasn't a shot at The Rock, but he's not going to come in and just say automatically I want a shot at Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, whoever has the belt. Like he wants to work towards it. Another thing I didn't know, he was a platinum record rapper. Did not know he made an album. I knew.
Cena did?
Yeah, he's
Oh
a
wait,
platinum
no,
record
he
rapper.
did. He did.
He sold 1.3 million records, and he was 15 on the Billboard's 200.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I thought that was part of the gimmick. I did not know that was for real. Shocked me. Another cool thing about John Cena, Guinness Book World Record for Make a Wish. He's granted the most Make a Wish out there. So
And it's
I'm not
not
gonna
even
lie.
close.
I ain't gonna lie. John Cena can come into that room right there with Nico, slap him in the chest, take a dump in his bed, and I'm still gonna root for John Cena and blame Nico. It was Nico's fault for him doing that to him.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
So I didn't know
When
that.
John Cena kicks down your door and says, "I'm going to shit on your bed," and smacks you across the face, you just look him dead in the eyes and say, "Yes, sir," and move along.
No, you say yes, Daddy. The
Damn, somebody's thirsty.
So I did not know the name of the podcast, but I've saw clips of the interview just through various platforms. And one thing that I found really neat about one of the excerpts I saw was he just loves to go for drives sometimes. And so one day he just hopped in his car and he drove 18 hours across the state of Florida and back home. And he did 888 miles or whatever it was. And he just got home after he was all said and done with it. And he's like, oh, drove over 800 miles. Cool. And just got his car and went back into his house and went about his life. But he'd stop at random coffee shops along the way and he'd get a cup of coffee. He'd talk to people. He'd like shake hands and take photos and everything else with them. But he just kept driving. There was no sound on in the car, no radio, no music, just enjoying the car. And I was like, that's awesome. I could not do that. I would go out of my mind. But that's dope.
If you like that, if on Club Shay Shay, he does have a car story about, and you have to watch the interview because I'm not gonna do it justice. But basically, he bought a fake Lamborghini, and the way he explains it, like it was bought years ago, and he's just now getting it. But he had to talk to a guy to get it back. And when Shannon Sharp was asking him about it, he's like, "That's all I'm gonna say. Just I talked to a guy to get it back, or whatever." And I was like,
Yeah.
John Cena kind of plays in the mud a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
He
Got some
also-
of that Boston connections.
He's a big car guy. He had a Ford GT when they first rolled out in like the mid 2000s. He got one of the allocations for it, and he actually got in trouble and was in a lawsuit with Ford for quite a while there because part of the requirement to get one of the allocations for those cars, because Ford knew that they were going to be like $1 million plus vehicles down the road because they were badass vehicles and they were way underpriced when they were released, was that you are not allowed to sell the vehicle for the first year or 3 years that you own it. But he is such a mountain of a human being that he could not physically fit in the car. And so he tried getting in it on 3 or 4 occasions, realized that it just wasn't happening. And so he sold the vehicle. He's like, if I can't sit in it, I'm not going to own this damn thing. I don't care what the contract says. And then Ford tried suing him for all the money that he made for the vehicle, plus damages to their brand for one of their brand new vehicles that it was being sold private party. So I believe he won it eventually, but that was a big thing for a while there.
I mean, you'd think that whenever they gave it to him initially, he would have sat in it at least once.
You would think.
Well, you have to you order it through an allocation. So for higher end vehicles, especially when you get to like the supercar levels like that, you go into a dealership and you pay anywhere from 20 to 50 to 100 grand for an allocation for that vehicle. Only part of those proceeds actually go towards the purchase price of the car. You're paying for your spot in line. And then when the vehicle is finally manufactured and arrives, it is either delivered directly to your house or to the dealership for like the full white glove service, and you have to pay for it ahead of time. So I believe in this instance he had it delivered to his house.
So he wasn't.
Yeah, but they would have had like a pre-production model that he could sit in. Something.
Those were
sure. No. It's just like a mock-up of some type,
Well, I mean, isn't the Cybertrucks and Teslas like that, where it's like you're just on a list, and whenever it gets done, and you just show up and pick
but they
it
have
up.
floor models for those, and you can like sit in them and be like, "Yeah, I fit in this thing."
Man, do you guys have a ton of? I know you do, Glenn, but have you guys seen a ton of Cybertrucks where you're at yet?
I've seen
I
saw
2 with wraps and one that was wrapped in gold, and then one normal one. I think I've seen about 5 or 6 in total. But the weirdest one I saw was
Tesla
just
moving
like this
down to Texas,
dark
like they're
colored
actually quite common.
Yeah, they're all over the place in Texas and Oklahoma. But what I absolutely love, Nick, I know you've never been man enough to own a truck. Rico, have you ever had a truck?
No, I just drove them.
Okay, and Glenn's in Texas, so I assume he's got 3 of them in his driveway. But
Absolutely.
the wonderful thing about Cybertrucks is that they
if
could
you
not
put your
fit
penis
all
in
of
the trunk area
electronics.
and click the button, it'll chop it off.
That is a thing, yes. But also, this is my favorite part about the vehicle. They couldn't fit all the electronics around the vehicle because there's just so many features in it that don't make sense, but whatever, that they had to put a large number of PCBs and relays inside of the tailgate. And so if you slam the tailgate too hard or you get into an accident, the whole fucking truck dies.
You'd think that they would go wireless with at least some of that. You know what I mean?
You would think.
Yeah.
And the other fun one that I saw with it, I mean, there's so many, but my other favorite thing is it comes with a tow package. It has a tow hook on it, and they say it's rated to tow so many pounds, so basically the same amount as a mid-sized truck
it's a
does.
truck.
Right?
It has to have some sort of towing capacity.
You'd fucking think. But here's the thing: the rear bumper and the tow hook, or at least the tow bar, are not actually connected to the frame of the vehicle. They are connected to the body. And so if you put it under any form of load, the entire fucking thing rips off of the truck. You can't tow shit with it.
Oh my god.
And it's and the tow bar isn't like connected to like some super material that
Nerdverse
integrates with the
Odyssey,
body.
episode 28, brought to you by Tesla.
Yeah, no. Whistling Diesel did a wonderful breakdown of how to break the Cybertruck, and one of the tests that they did was they got an F-150, a brand new one, just a base model XLT, and they tried connecting with chains and see who could pull the other. And they started with the chain taut and everything else, so there wouldn't be any whipping effect. And as soon as they applied any sort of pressure against the tailgate, the whole thing, tow package and everything, flew straight off the vehicle.
I mean, dude, this is like the modern day equivalent of the fucking Yugo.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say
seriously.
you're borderlining DeLorean levels of incompetence.
No, you
Like,
go
actually,
because you're
that's
paying
not too
over
far.
$100,000 for it.
Oh,
What's
you know
funny
what?
is
Fair.
that DeLorean is in Texas now, actually in San Antonio itself. There's the DeLorean storage facility where they have all the spare parts that you can put together to build a car. And so I mean,
Yeah,
like,
because you can still buy a DeLorean, can't you?
you
But you have to buy it in
because
pieces
they have
and build it yourself.
you can buy a whole car, but basically they have so many spare parts in stock because the DeLorean was a masterwork of engineering and never broke. That they have basically enough DeLorean parts to build entire DeLoreans.
And
And
I don't
speaking
know
of
if you
DeLoreans, Ronda Rousey just had an interview too about her autobiography. And if you guys want her graphic novel, it's called Expect the Unexpected, about a pregnant woman, kind of like a John Wick that goes around. But the cool thing is, her Kickstarter has it to where, and this may be Hunter and for Glenn. If you give so much money to the Kickstarter, you can get a private lesson from her and her husband in judo, jujitsu, ninja stuff. I don't know what she does other than she fights.
MMA,
do I get to chin Travis
mixed
Brown?
martial
That
arts.
sounds like fun.
That's what I mean. It says you get a free.
No,
I don't know if
you
she
get an
didn't
oil
the
check
amount,
from him.
but you'll get a free
I want that
lesson
from her.
with them. Well,
I'm
it sounds
just,
like they're going to tag
wondering,
team.
like, there's the guy who's going to buy it is likely going to be like some overweight dude who's like trying to change his life and get back into wrestling, or just be like this one pervy dude with like shit tons of money and be like, yeah, check me out, Ronda Rousey. Like, it's
Don't
one of those
forget-
things.
You also have the neckbeard who's been training for like 2 months and has way too much money and is going to waste it on that experience.
Right.
All right, boys, and I bought it.
But also one thing, no one's surprised that you bought that of all people. I've seen the dumb shit you collect. But also, if you haven't seen it, there was a concept car that came out like a year or two ago for an electric DeLorean. I don't know if they're actually going to go through with production on it, but they were very serious at the time when they developed the prototype.
I'm not gonna lie, I would totally buy a DeLorean if I had the money.
Oh, absolutely.
We lost
I
Glenn
mean, you
again.
could buy it. You could buy it and take it to the con. I've seen the DeLorean. I've seen DeLorean and Kit Knight Rider vehicle
Nice.
at con. So go there.
Don't forget the Ghostbusters wagon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it.
was there too.
Ecto 1, right?
Ecto 1, yes.
Yeah. Also, sorry, Rico.
Okay, where did I get cut
Now
off,
we're
by
back.
the way?
No one remembers. That was
Yeah.
so 5 minutes ago.
So speaking of Ghost, we have some next level stuff that I saw this week. Phil Donahue.
Did I?
Phil Donahue had
Oh,
died.
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Your
Yeah, I
mic
don't know.
is
Not-
awful now, Glenn.
Is it?
Yeah, it sounds like you're going from across the room.
Okay, I'll fix it. I don't know what's happening right now. Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix it.
But yeah, Phil Donahue, if you guys, well, I'm not trying to make fun of you guys' age, but for Nico, Hunter, Glenn should know. Donahue was like the first talk show. So before Jerry Springer, there was Sally Jesse Raphael, there was Ricky Lake, there was Oprah. Even before Oprah became what she was before, she did a little bit of the dirty stuff like Donahue. But I do. I'm not gonna lie. I told me and my wife were talking about it. I thought he actually died already, but he was 88 right now.
Damn.
He had a long illness, but they didn't say what it was, so I assume always it's going to be cancer. But I, respect on that one. Asuko Tanaka.
Well, hold on.
He's an
I
artist,
just want to say, I thought you were a real one, Rico. How are you going to leave Arsenio off that list?
Arsenio Hall did not. Oh, you talk about. I thought you said he died. No, yeah, Arsenio Hall. But Arsenio Hall was a talk show host that did interviews. Donahue was more of, hey, your sister said this, whatever, and next you see a dwarf come out of nowhere and gonna fight. Or
that's true.
I think Donahue was the first one. I think he was the first show that had. I think it was an open white supremacist.
I thought that was.
He was also the one
Hidalgo.
who did
Yeah, I think
that was
Hidalgo.
Hidalgo.
The one who got,
Hidalgo was the one who got punched in the face.
I thought he got hit by a chair.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I think he was hit by a chair, but no, that was Hidalgo.
Wasn't Donahue the first one to be like, you are the father, you are not the father?
No, I think Maury started that.
Maury Povich. Yeah, between that and the drag, like, is she a man? Is she a woman?
Yeah,
that was kind of weird. Especially when Maury Povich was like, "Hey, fellas, it's 2:00 in the morning. Which one are you gonna pick?" I was like, "Dude, that's not even cool." Whatever. Like,
How do I sound now, by the way, guys?
You sound fine.
Better.
Okay, great. All right, good.
But Atsuko Tanaka, hopefully I'm not saying her name wrong. She died at 61. You may know her from the voice actor of Ghost in the Shell and Bayonetta.
Yes.
She's done a bunch of stuff. Unfortunately, her son has said she had died from undisclosed illness that she's been battling for a year. But I mean, I did my research. She's been in a bunch of stuff being a voice actor.
Yeah, no, her. If you listen to, she's kind of like who's the one over here that gets in everything? Is it Lauren Bailey?
Yeah, Lauren Bailey's one.
Very similar in the fact that you like turn your head and you hear her voice.
It's like Lauren Bailey or Tara Strong is another one.
That's the other one. But yeah, no, she's like she's on like I'd say a higher level than those two. But yeah, no, she's in like everything. I'll be sad. Of course, Bayonetta was one of my favorite characters that she played.
And of course, Sid Vicious, 63. If you guys weren't checking that, he had died from cancer. Somebody from art, well, at least I would say almost all of our childhoods from WrestleMania and stuff like that, especially with Shawn Michaels. But significant thing about it, he was a WWF before it became WWE and WCW champion. Was introduced in 1987. I didn't know he was named. Well, not that I listened to.
He was Psycho Sid Vicious, I think, was the original.
Yeah, and then he picked Sid Vicious after the Sex Pistols.
Yep. Well, it was originally Psycho Sid. Then he swapped it to Sid Vicious when he went to WCW. I think it was because he couldn't get the trademark for Psycho Sid.
Okay.
Because I think they even changed the spelling of it too, if I remember correctly.
Then of course I'm gonna say, of course, if you guys didn't know, this is the 4th year since Chadwick Boseman's unfortunate death from cancer too, as well. On that one.
Why is your goal this week just to bring us down? What the hell, Rico?
Well, what I've been trying to do is, like I told Nico, I think Glenn was in the conversation, we tend to forget those ones that are part of Nerdverse. A lot of people don't know it. And then a lot of times with some of these, which is why I call it next level, some of these deaths, people don't understand that before certain things came about, there was an origin to it, or at least an originator to that one. So, trying to do that one. But to pick up your spirits, Carl Weathers will be receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Hell yeah!
For a second there, thought you were going to say, to bring up your spirits, Carl Weathers died today. What the hell?
Fuck him.
So here goes another one. Another one to lift up your spirits is 10 years ago, the PT demo was released. I think I still have that on the PS4. I have.
You have a PS4 that's worth a lot of money, good sir.
I believe it's still, I think it's the one I got down here. I still have it on that one.
Yeah, no, because they delisted it to the point where you can't even re-download it. People are paying stupid amounts of money for PlayStation 4s with that on it specifically.
Well,
now that you tell me that, I have a PS3 with a PT demo on it.
PT was only a PS4 demo, homie. Let's try.
Nope. It's on there.
It's a Nerf fight. It's a Nerf fight.
No, you're thinking
fight.
of, I believe,
Fight.
Alone in the Dark.
Fight. So while you guys battle that out,
There's no battle. I'm right. It's easy.
Whatever you say.
I don't see
you guys
anything
never
on here. about
PlayStation 4
PS3.
on the Fox engine. It did not come out on the PS3. It was a free demo for the PlayStation 4. Check yourself.
here's some other great
Then
news.
what
The
did
White
I
House
play it on?
proposes click option to cancel subscription services.
Wait, say that again, Rico?
So the White House proposes click option to cancel subscription services. So instead of having to call, you just click a button and to cancel it.
The fact that it's 2024 and that's not an option now is ridiculous. So because
it requires literal legislature for us to be able to get that stupid fucking ability in every service and website, and I cannot wait until it becomes a legitimate thing and everyone has to abide by it.
Yeah, I have a story of how God blighted Nico this week, so I'll wait.
I think that's it on. We're about a week late news. Other than that, have you guys seen the controversy around X-Men 97?
Yeah.
Please regale us.
So Beau de Mayo.
Are you talking about the
Naked
guy?
superhero poses?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
that.
apparently he got stripped of his season 2 credits after he says he posted a fan art of him of being Cyclops. I call it Summer Cyclops. Summer season Cyclops, whatever. And so Disney states that the reason why they did it was because after they did an investigation, this dude was sending inappropriate photos and say, "Hey, use me," in several poses. It wasn't just like one picture. Several poses for them to use as a reference for the X-Men. Hold on, let me read what it says.
Wasn't he also like being inappropriate with like a lot of the male staff?
Yeah, because he was sending unsolicited nudes.
Yeah, it said allegedly sent new photos of himself in a sexually suggestive hero poses to several young male staffers used as inspiration. Allegedly groped a assistant multiple times and emotionally/physically abusive to others. On that one, that's what Disney is claiming. He's claiming that is.
I'm just wondering if he did like the superhero landing. That would be.
You guys don't watch Community, do you guys? Or no?
Community?
Yeah.
Community.
Yeah.
Remember the pool? Remember the pool scene
Yes.
with Jeff when he ripped off his underwear? It was him and the guy from fucking crap, man. The Bobby Boucher. The guy who had the nipples.
Yeah.
It was him and him. They ripped off, and there's a part where he stretches out on the pool table and then raises his legs. And everyone's like, "Oh." He's doing poses like that, I guess.
Yeah, that was when he was taking the pool. He took the pool class.
Yeah, he wanted to dress cool, and the guy was like, "You think you're too cool for pool on that one?" So yeah,
Disney
he got fired.
Disney tried their best with him to not let any of this come out. Because when this news initially broke,
he's been out for a while. Have no concerns.
Yeah, but no, when he was initially fired, they said it was because of his OnlyFans account and the fact that he was producing sexually suggestive content on his OnlyFans account, some of it with Marvel IP, and which he was doing that, and that was part of the reason that he was fired. However, the dumb shit couldn't keep his mouth shut, and he kept trying to bash the company and talk about, spoilers on season 2 and plot ideas that he had and everything else. And so that's why all of this eventually ended up being released, because they were trying to distance themselves from him.
But he said he's going to have his day. He hired a famous celebrity lawyer that went against Disney before for something. So we'll see, because again,
Isn't
Disney
the
has
guy
to make up for the fact
that Rachel Ziegler retained, is it?
I have no idea. Just know he's a celebrity lawyer that has went against Disney before.
Yeah.
Disney's trying to make up a face because they just had to rescind their their motion to dismiss the case against a guy whose wife died at a restaurant.
Yes.
The peanut allergy.
They try to use the terms of service to say, hey, you did a free monthly trial, therefore arbitration. Like, we're sorry for your wife's death, but arbitration.
The
That
good
applies
old
to
fashioned, hey,
all
you
Disney.
already signed your life away, so get fucked, nerd.
Ew.
Yeah.
Besides that,
Have y'all seen everything that's going on with the 2025 Snow White movie?
We don't talk about
Yeah.
the 2025 Snow White movie.
So apparently, the actress who's playing Snow White, Rachel Ziegler, has been fired from a whole bunch of Disney projects that she is going to be a part of, was going to be a part of, and it because of the fact that basically she wouldn't, shut her mouth about, all sorts of crazy bullshit with detractors from the Snow White movie. Like basically, she was being kind of a how do people put it? She was being a pompous ass who was shitting on Disney's product, Disney's legacy, and because of that, Disney's like, you know what? We're gonna keep the evil queen, and Snow White can go.
So she basically went full Dakota Johnson, except she doesn't have super rich parents with all the Hollywood connections to make sure that she's allowed to say those things publicly.
Yep.
yeah.
Basically, yeah, and basically once she got fired, the internet cheered, and well, we'll probably never hear of her ever again. So there you go.
Well, like I said, I mean, the Snow White movie's gonna come out, and we're gonna. My whole thing is That's why. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it yet. Well, we can get
It
into
is
it.
going to crash and burn so hard.
Yep.
$3 million
It is.
down the tubes.
And that's what brings up the question I had before, like, how much do you separate the artist from the art on that one? Because speaking of which, the Acolyte did not get picked up. Some people say it got canceled. Disney says, we decided to go in a different direction.
Oh
On that
no!
one.
How could this have been foreseen?
I feel
depends
like
on-
Disney's like cleaning house right now with a bunch of stuff
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's
because
Bob,
they're
if
just
it's Bob
losing
Iger
so
doing
much
it,
fucking money right now.
so I mean, they only had 11.1 views for the first 5 days of streaming, and dropped out weekly 10 and week 3, and didn't return to the
Wait,
season
you said
finale.
11.5, like 11 people, or 11.5
11.1 million views was the first episode, first 5 days of streaming. So that was the first 2 episodes. After that, it dropped out of the top 10. Didn't go back up to, I guess, the same views until the season finale. But everybody, I mean, including myself, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how are you going to end this? And then when they ended it, I was like, oh, this is not good. But
Disney actually releases their stream numbers.
Yeah, that's news to me.
well, the article had, I guess, to justify it, because once it got picked up, because the weird thing was in D23, they had the guy who was playing the bad Sith, I forgot his name, whatever, but they had him announce that, hey, there's possibly a season 2 going to come out, and this happened during his birthday weekend or his birthday. Then they came around and said, we're not picking it up. And
Are you
so
talking
people
about
were
Darth
upset about it.
Plagueis?
No, not Darth Plagueis, the other one. He's the one that
Darth
played
Sidious?
he's not Darth Sidious either.
The dude
They didn't give
I think they kissed.
No,
I've
they didn't
never
kiss. They got,
actually watched the show, so I don't
oh
know.
my god! So in the show, he plays a
It's
Sith,
Jar Jar.
But
Jar Jar.
yeah. To quote it, you can call him a Sith if you like. He doesn't go by that name. And so the most part is that I wasn't going with this shit.
I don't know.
A Sith by any other name, is he not so still dark?
Again, it's the weirdness. You have to watch the show because it's kind of weird on how they did it. Because again, in air quotes, he's not a Sith. When
it's
they
like
said,
they
"Hey, you're
threw
a
out
Sith," he's like, "You may
decades and
call me
decades of
that." You're
canon.
not.
And
There is no canon. What are you talking about? That's Legends. Legends is not canon. What they told me.
It's
Expanding
What do you
universe.
mean?
thousands.
The books didn't start coming out till around the time that
No, sir, you
the
If you
new
continue this
trilogy
conversation,
started.
you
Come on,
yourself are a
everyone knows
racist.
that.
Hey, if you continue this conversation, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a misogynist.
It's like thousands
come on, give me
of
more words.
fanboys
Give me more
cried
words.
out
Give me
and
more
then
words.
were
You
suddenly
hate yourself.
silenced.
You hate your mom. You hate your dog. You hate your cat. You kick your lizard every time.
I hate
Come on,
winter,
come on.
summer, fall, and spring.
See, right there, you have a
Hate
fake accent.
everything.
You fake accents. You don't like people with accents. You beat your wife, even though you live on the East Coast, which is weird. You wear wife beaters inside out. Doesn't make no sense.
He doesn't want to
So,
feel
yeah.
the tag.
It's laundry day.
It's laundry day.
No,
I
but
appreciate being on the other side for this portion of the conversation. That was great. Let's see why you guys like it. But what's really interesting about this topic is the fact that they have any form of streaming numbers for Disney Plus for how that show performed. Because historically, especially through the pandemic, it was so hard to tell how movies and shows were performing on these streaming services and whether or not it was worth it for them to drop $3, $5, $10 million, whatever it's going to end up being. Sometimes more if you have like the Red Notice with Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson, the Netflix movie, because you're spending such an ass ton of money on these movies and TV shows, but there's no real revenue stream for it. It's just converting the impressions that you get from the film to this gets us additional members joining our platform, or this gets them to stay subscribing to our platform and whatnot and engaging with our content. So the fact that they released anything for that show, I think is fantastic. And hopefully that's something that continues to expand with streaming platforms as we're moving away from the television and the movie theater model. Because that's the only way we're going to find any form of justification to produce films outside of A24 that are going to go straight to the streaming platform that aren't big franchise movies or TV shows.
I mean, they may continue to do it, but I really feel the only reason why they did it is because they act like the way it is right now. And I know I went off on a comedy tangent or whatever, but that's literally how the argument is. You have the camp that says this was canceled because you have a certain Star Wars fans that claim that it's woke, whatever. That's it. And Disney's trying to save face and going, we hear you, but you guys did not watch that show, and those guys didn't watch the show. And here's the numbers. And due to the fact that
It's
low
like
numbers,
you're arguing on this end, but you didn't watch it. You're arguing on this end, but you didn't watch it. So how about both y'all just fuck off?
pretty much, and that's the reason why. That's the only reason why they're releasing the numbers. I mean, if they do, I'm with Hunter. That's great. You releasing numbers now. You can
I would love to know how Adam Sandler is still able to make movies on Netflix every month. That would be something.
Because his name's
Rob
his
Schneider.
name's
It's all Rob Schneider.
Hey, you leave Rob Schneider alone, right? I saw him at DC Improv. Right? He's half Filipino.
Rob Schneider is a carrot.
Uncut Gems is one of the top 5 best movies made in the last 10 years, and I will fight about that any day of the week.
And I ain't gonna lie, I love Spanglish.
Dude, honestly, his scene with Eminem is still the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, maybe go, okay, Eminem, I see the comedy side in it now.
Right. So, I mean, like, back to the Star Wars thing, like, probably another reason why they're not spending any money on this franchise anymore is because, I mean, there's a lot of money that's made during basically whenever you have watch hours, because people have a certain amount of hours that they have the budget to watch, right? And so then there's a certain amount of content that they're going to watch, and if they run out of content, they're going to stop watching, right? Thus, they're going to stop paying for your service. But it's basically like, if in the case you watch something, that means that you have still a backlog of other things to watch, therefore you're going to stay.
Yeah,
that's
why here's the thing, though. Like,
but I was going to say that let me finish my thought here. That regarding that particular franchise, they may have canceled it because most of the money that's made with that sort of stuff is in the merchandise afterwards.
Just about to say.
Yes.
It's all about merchandising.
It is all about merchandise. And if anything, like the documentary, The Toys That Made Us, if anything taught me about anything, Star Wars the movie absolutely was a hit whenever it made that. They made their money already with that movie. If you haven't seen it already, then what the fuck are you doing, right? So they're going to see the movie once, maybe twice if they're showing somebody else. But whenever they get the Luke Skywalker figurine, whenever they get the Millennium Falcon, whenever they get the lightsabers, all this other fun bullshit, if there are no products that are being produced like figurines and toys and other things that come off of this franchise, they're making no cash, none whatsoever.
So here's the catch. Since you said that, two things. One, the show cost $180 million to make. It's the reason why when you had the Wookiee, and I forgot his name, who was a Jedi, supposedly that's why his fight was cut as far as the past because it was too much money. The key thing, the catch also is that when you mention merchandise, Disney took it off their website. They took out all merchandise to the Acolyte off
Really?
there. So you can't. So unless you bought it earlier, you cannot purchase it right now unless you go through some other channels. Whatever.
Okay, there's storage cost, there's manufacturing costs. You know, if in the case that you know you can melt down those toys and you know make them as filler for new Lego bricks, or sell them as raw material for more money than you can the actual product, then you know what? That's perfectly that's well within reason. That they don't have to order more toys that aren't going to be sold.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought your number was bullshit when you first threw it out there, Rico, so I had to fact check it and Google it. I am holy shit.
This guy.
Cost $630,000 for every minute of screen time for that show, which actually pushes it over the $180 million estimate to be closer to $200 million for that show. They deserve every bit of losses that they have for going with a budget that fucking high for the show. They deserve to lose their asses on it. If you have to spend $200 million to get somebody to watch your content because you cannot rely on the story to bring them in and keep them hooked with your product, you fucking deserve it. Oh my God.
Dude, that's like almost $1 trillion in losses over the past 5 years. With some of the shit they've been putting out.
Well,
Like
that's the reason
honestly,
why-
no wonder.
Yeah,
no
Warner
wonder,
Brothers won't release Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, but there's a reason why Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down from her role as the president
Stepping
next
down,
year.
motherfucker. She got fired.
She's not fired yet, though.
She's not fired yet,
She's gonna be.
and she's
I think
going
she's
to remain with the
till-
company.
I think
my
she's there till either she's there right now till 2026 quarter 2 or 2025 quarter 2. Either way, you still got to deal with her for almost another year or so, even 2 years after that. But
Yeah, but I don't think Iger's gonna
that's
let
likely
her
something
have
to do
full
with
reign.
contract.
no, I mean right now the focus is on the Mandalorian and the Grogu movie that's coming out with David Filoni and Farva
Speaking
holding it
of
right now.
fuck tons of merchandising, I mean,
Oh, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of
who does not
merchandise.
own one of those Baby Yoda dolls?
I don't.
But I really believe
do.
without
I
me
do.
rewatching the Acolyte, the main thing is that you had something there. I think that was golden. Take all the political controversy, all that stuff out. I really felt like if they would have somewhat focused on Master Soul, like he was a quote unquote detective Jedi, something from his past is coming out, whatever, and that it involved his Padawan, but don't reveal it in the beginning that she's the fucking the one causing it, or could it be a virgin? Could it be a twin? Leave that shit there. You still could have cooled it in there, and it wraps around her like there's some mystery behind her, but they didn't do that. The only highlight I like was when the Sith guy came out, and even then he was, again, I'm shit you not. When you watch the show, he's not a true Sith or whatever. I mean, you had the girl from the Matrix, Trinity.
They made the grand sin of telling, not showing.
Yeah, because they
That's what
wanted
they
to
did.
do. Leslie Headland wanted to do the one Japanese movie you guys know that I keep forgetting. Was it Rakushan or Rakuman? Pokemon? I have no fucking idea.
Digimon.
But it's
you
supposed
were
Rashomon.
to have three perspectives, and I'm
Yes, Rashomon.
no. Like no, it didn't go for that one. But the last thing I got is for my week was,
We're still in weeks.
Microfarming.
Oh my god.
hey, I would have been done, but just been a lot of interjections.
You're very
I am
That's all
Captain Chaos, and you're welcome.
I literally have like 2-3 bullet points, and then next you know it's like you guys do a dissertation on everything. But Bungie, the news. Well,
I
two
believe the
things.
term
One,
is dissertation.
it's my time. It is my time. Madam Director. No, I'm joking.
I do
No,
love.
microbanning. And if you're doing any type of loot farming now, which I didn't know was a thing. Again, I play games. I don't do AFK, but they're banning you guys now. So if you guys decide to get on Bungie, and try to do micro farming, and they list a whole bunch of stuff far as idling, using AI. I didn't know people were coming up with programs for AI to do macro farming. If you do any of that, they're going to ban you on that part. There was also a macro for PvP. I didn't know what was the thing called crouch shooting. So apparently on the PC, you guys can press a button, and your character basically just teabags and shoots.
Yeah, well, because there's no like accelerometer or potentiometer or anything in the keyboard. It's a mechanical switch that's on or off. So you can't that's why you can't walk unless you hold a button in like first person shooters on the computer. And if you crouch, you click the button, it's automatic. You can't it. It's quicker to click. It's quicker to do the crouch on a keyboard than it would be on a controller. So you could, in theory, I could see how a macro could be built around that for cheating.
It's the same reason why if you watch PUBG streams back in the day when it was popular, you'd see people just doing this the whole time, just leaning left and right, because you're just flipping the keys, and that way you don't have to walk and you don't have to worry about headshots.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that is really easy. That's just three fingers.
Yep. Well, no, not even, because you just tap
hold
Q
W
and
then
E.
tap Q and E with your middle.
You wouldn't even move.
Yep.
You wouldn't even move. You just get a corner angle, and then you just bob your head left and right. That's all you did.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that the Farhat brothers are a couple of cheaters.
Oh, fuck no.
Oh, motherfucker. Back in the day when CS 1.6 and Source was popular, and I still had like a non-LCD monitor, I would take a Sharpie and I would put a dot in the middle of my screen, and I would no-scope bitches with the Scout and the Op all day. It pissed everyone off. It was so much fun.
The last thing Bungie was that they finally revealed why they let go of a director. Apparently, this guy was released in the summer, and I forgot his name. That's how quickly I forgot about the story. But essentially, he was texting women, giving them truth or dare scenarios that made him feel uncomfortable. But the funny thing is that he said in his communication, he did not know that he crossed the line and he made those women uncomfortable. So I kind of laughed, and I'm like, "Yep, buddy, you pretty much got trashed." Which again is kind of funny because it's like you didn't hear nothing about it during the layoff.
Women whenever he wasn't hot. That's the problem.
I don't know. They showed like one or two pictures. His earlier pictures look like a straight up like a tall ass nerd. Like he's like, oh okay, kind of scarecrowish now. And then they showed a picture with eyeglasses like later on. Like okay, he grew into his body. That's cool.
He glowed up. Yeah, but he did that before he glowed up. That was his problem.
I don't know, but they let him go. And now they replaced him on that one. People said finally, but other people said again. It's kind of funny that this didn't come out to light till after the layoffs. That should have been done before the layoffs or before anything was happening. He should have been let go. It's been going on for a while on that part. With that, I'm going to hand it off to Nico because hopefully he will talk about Black Myth.
Oh, yeah. All right. So,
Return to Monkey.
Oh, I'm returning to Monkey. Yeah, so my week has been fairly normal. Bought Black Myth Wukong. Played Black Myth Wukong. Love Black Myth Wukong. I returned to Monkey. That game is fucking awesome. Just if you want to be a believer on this game, just watch the intro movie. It's so cool how the beginning of this game starts because you start as Sun Wukong, and you have all the powers, and you're beating the shit out of a god, and it's going off like an anime fight scene. It's fucking trippy. It's super
an
fun
anime fight scene like Dragon Ball Z, which was directly inspired by
the
Journey to the West.
But yeah, so it is canonically a sequel to Journey to the West. So it is very helpful to have read or listened to an audiobook version of it because there are a lot of things that you're like right off the bat, you're like, who the fuck is this guy? If you never read the story.
But how could you not know Journey to the West?
There are people who listen. There were some reviewers the day it came out who were complaining. It's like, oh well, I never read the story, so I have to like go back to understand who this character is. And
it's like, in every single piece of like Chinese media.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that story has been told so many times. It's quite literally like the Goldilocks tale of modern Chinese culture. Because the Communist Party thinks it's okay.
It's pretty good, and the voice acting is quality, especially because the guy who did the voice for Sun Wukong sounds like a more masculine version of Frieza, which is very fitting for Monkey. But yeah, so it's good. I recommend it. It's apparently like the top played single player game on Steam right now with like over, was it 233 million concurrent players? Oh yeah, no, this game sold amazingly well.
Have you gotten to the scene with the giant wave of spiders yet?
No, I beat the first boss and unlocked that ability and played with it for a bit, and then I kind of had other things I had to do, so I haven't gone back to it. But yeah, it's pretty good.
I've seen some clips with like basically Sun Wukong like running away from like a tide of spiders.
So that's the thing. You're not Sun Wukong.
Buh?
So this, since like I said, this is the end. This is the sequel to Journey to the West. So I can't remember.
Is it his copy?
Huh?
Is it his copy?
Kind of, yeah. It's his. It's like it's a spiritual successor essentially. So he ends up like fighting against heaven.
Jet Li.
I can't remember exactly who the who the god was that he was fighting, but ends up knocking him down. Pretty much beats the shit out of him and kills him and traps him on the mountain. And so this is like one of his descent.
Is that like the thunder god? Is that the god of thunder or the god of wind?
The one who turns into the wolf.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's pretty. Like the beginning, like grabbed me and hooked me in. So I am definitely down to become Monkey. I also played a new game that came out. I think it came out a little while ago, but it's still fairly new. Rum and Guns. Have y'all heard of this? So
I have.
Rum and Gun is a pirate-themed Diablo clone. It is currently $3.49 on Steam. Highly recommended. Very fun. Let's see. Resident Evil 2 on GOG got released. So this is the 1998 version. Plays very, very well. I believe it is. So far, both titles have been $9.99 each, or you can buy all three of them for $24.99. Resident Evil 3, I believe, is probably going to come out sometime around Halloween. But 2 just released, I think it was yesterday.
And if you go on the Epic Games website right now, Fallout, the CRPG, what was it? Fallout 1, 2, and Fallout Tactics, I believe, is free right now.
Nice. I have those on multiple platforms already. I think I probably already have.
Oh yeah, I have a physical version of it from whenever it first released.
I have 1 and 2 on my RG 353, so I can play them at work.
Just in case your employer watches, right?
I have lunch breaks. Let's see here. I beat the Elden Ring DLC. The final boss is a pain in the ass. I don't know if it's been out for a while. I don't know. Spoilers if you haven't played Elden Ring Shadows of the Erd Tree yet, but Consort Radon is a fucking cunt of a fight. But finally did it after about 45 attempts. But got him. I ganked his ass. Got the armor. I'm gonna go finish the game up and then probably shelve Elden Ring for the next 2 years so I forget everything. And then I get to experience all over.
Until whatever Souls-like game that gets released by FromSoft.
So judging by FromSoft's release schedule they've been doing lately, I don't think we're going to see another game for another 2 to 3 years. However, there have been rumblings of a Bloodborne related thing from Sony coming soon, so we might be getting that because Bloodborne is now playable on the PC via PS4 emulation. It is not perfect. I would say it's maybe like 25% there. It's about the 25% to the way of being done, but what they've accomplished in, I think it's like a span of a month and a half, is amazing. Like it went from the first iteration of it just being a red title screen to in-game walking around 60 frames a second but with texture issues. So it is It is getting there. So that's pretty cool. I watched some.
Speaking of getting there, there's also a development release last week for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 as well that's been coming out.
Ooh, nice.
They've been doing actually a lot of new stuff for that. And fingers crossed, things are looking really good.
I'm hoping so because it'd be cool to have another round of that game where it was actually working this time. Watched a couple movies. I watched Tommy Boy, Waterboy, and for some reason I had to go back and rewatch Spider-Man No Way Home. That was the multiverse one, right?
That was the one where it was like Spider-Man.
All Spider-Mans. Okay. Yeah, I forgot how little screen time the original two Spider-Man actually got in that movie. They were only there for like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good Spider-Man movie. Did maybe want to go back and watch the original Spider-Mans again. So I might do that. Alfred
William
Molina
Dafoe is fucking peak.
Like Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe just like were able to jump right back into their characters like they just started filming yesterday. It was crazy. Like they didn't miss a beat, especially Willem Dafoe.
You know, a really fun thing that most people do not see in that film. Do you remember in the second Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man film, where I guess it was the first one because it was when the Vulture Tech slices the boat in half.
Yes.
And Spider-Man is trying to tie the ferry together and make sure that nothing snaps and breaks and eventually fails. He learned his lesson during that. And so if you watch the scene on the bridge where he's fighting Doc Ock and the recruiter's vehicle gets thrown over the edge, he grabs it with his web. But if you notice, before he puts it on the bridge to let it hold it up, he then cross anchors it to both of the pillars beside him to make sure that it doesn't snap again due to the weight and the tension on the web.
Oh, that was
a really
callback.
really cool item that just it went very unnoticed.
Yeah, that's cool. I did not catch that. I saw the trailer for Sonic 3.
Yes.
I'm very excited to see chubby Jim Carrey.
He's finally finished the transformation.
He's
Sonic Adventure 2 lives again.
Yes.
The greatest character arc of our generation.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I will say this. Keanu Reeves as Shadow is just, it's just peak cinema. I love it.
Did you notice that in the movie, or in the movie trailer, like whenever Sonic the Hedgehog did like the Akira slide for the while he was on his motorcycle, that was actually a callback to the Matrix movies because yes.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for him to start pulling out guns because that was Shadow's big thing from back in the what was that like early 2000s with Shadow the Hedgehog, where it was a Sonic runner game but with machine guns.
I will also say this: it's a blink and you miss it portion of the trailer, but there's a cow in the trailer.
I did see that.
Yes. Yep.
I saw the trailer. I also saw the trailer for the Lord of the Rings anime, the War of the Rohirrim. Have you guys seen this?
The anime?
Yeah. So it's supposed to be. It's about. What is it? Wow, my brain just died. Anyway, it's the previous like king in was it Rohan? So it's about him.
Rohan,
Helm
yes.
Hammerhand, I think is his name, and it looks. I'm just put that. It looks really good. Take a look at the trailer. It looks really really fun. So I'm kind of excited to see that one.
Maybe that's something we can talk about next week then.
Bingo.
That seems, yep.
Silent Hill 2 remake looks amazing. Confirmed Akira Yamaoka is doing the music again, so I'm super happy because the Silent Hill soundtrack is phenomenal. And to hear the new stuff, the new stuff in it kind of mixed with the old stuff just sounds so good. Like, he has not missed a beat with that. So really, really excited.
Character design and cinematography during the cutscenes that they showed during the story trailer were fucking peak.
I'm very glad Konami listened and actually made they went back and made James Sunderland actually look older, which was really, really cool. Game wise, I talked about Black Myth. I played a little more High on Life, beat the first boss. Enjoyable. Might take a little break from it though, because I'm not in the mood for a shooter. Went back and played a shit ton of Doom 2 to call Glenn's bitch ass out. Doom 2 is Doom 2, Doom 3, Duke Nukem, Blood, Shadow Warrior are not arena shooters. What you're confusing with is Map 7 of Doom 2, which is an arena shooter, which then made every other kind of mod and everything always put a map 7 as an arena shooter map. But
so you're saying the game is an arena shooter?
No, it has one arena shooter map. The game itself is not an arena shooter because you are progressing through the map, sometimes having to backtrack while fighting enemies. They don't just spawn in waves.
So what you're saying is technically he was still correct.
No, he was not correct.
Yes,
because
this is exactly what
there
he's
is
saying.
a arena.
No,
No, because the way you put
Rico, stop it! Stop.
No, listen. It's just, no.
So if
You're
part of the
proving me
game
right with every
is-
word you speak.
if part
No,
of the
I'm not.
game
Just
is an
stop while
arena
you're ahead.
shooter, then the game can in fact be at least partially classified as an arena shooter. Therefore,
For a
Glenn is the
singular,
best kind of
for a
correct,
single
which is
mechanic,
the
it cannot.
technical
If the
kind.
mechanic is only used once, that's just stupid. Fuck all y'all. Anyway, Doom 2 RTX
The mechanic was
looks
used
fucking
once.
amazing.
Once.
So if you have
Hey,
the
you
ability to
can't
play
redeem
it,
us.
download Doom 2 RTX. It is very cool. I played Shadow Drop. So I'm just gonna jump into the news with this one because I'm done talking about my week. Nintendo had a direct. Shut the fuck up, Glenn. It was the indies and the partner.
Are you upset that he was
Shut the
was
fuck up,
right?
Hunter. Anyway, Nintendo did a direct that was the
Poor little
indies
guys having
as
such a
well
rough
as the
night.
partners. And fuck all you motherfuckers. Anyway, there were some shadow drops. Peglin, which is a roguelike dungeon crawler pachinko game. It's really fun. I like it.
Pachinko?
Yeah, it's pachinko, but as a dungeon crawler. Think Slay the Spire, but instead of cards, you're playing pachinko.
So not Pachinko?
No, pachinko.
So what you're saying is that if Snoop Dogg played, he would be like the best player ever then. Did you see him
No, I don't know.
show somebody how to win pachinko like first time go whenever he was like on The Price is Right?
I did not, but I guess that means that Snoop Dogg would be amazing at this game. They also shadow dropped Castlevania Dominus Collection, which is the DS Castlevania games. So Order of Ecclesia, Portrait of Ruin, Dawn of Sorrow, and then they also included Haunted Castle and Haunted Castle Remake. Runs super, super well. It's on Steam, PlayStation, and the Switch. I don't think it got an Xbox release. But that just means we are one collection. The next collection, if they do it, should be Symphony of the Night, which will make me very, very happy.
Wait, how did they drop the DS games on a Switch?
So, the guys who did the last Castlevania collection, the last two are the ones that did this, obviously. But how it works is you have your main screen, because Castlevania was played on when it was on the DS. The top screen was just your map and the pause menu and everything, but the bottom screen where you could actually touch it and the stylus is the actual gameplay section. So how it works is they removed, at least for Dawn of Sorrow, I know they removed the sigils and changed it to button combos, kind of like QuickTime events back in the day.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if you can do touch screen stuff. So if you're on the Switch, you just like literally, if you're in handheld mode, you can just touch the screen, I believe. But if you're using the controller playing on the TV or whatever, you use the right analog stick to move a cursor, which is your stylus.
Interesting.
It does work. Capcom did the same thing when they did the Mega Man game, when they did the Mega Man Zero collection on the Switch, and it's the same theory, where it's the right analog stick and one of your shoulder buttons works as a trigger. Because the DS, the 3DS and the DS only have, well, the DS anyway, just had LR and then XYAB. It didn't have the secondary triggers, so it utilizes those for button clicks or for like tapping the screen and stuff.
Very interesting. Yeah. And was that so? The button presses are going to do the same thing um, for PC as well, or
Yep.
do they use like the mouse?
It works on the PC as well. I think you can actually just use the mouse. I'd assume it'd just take the same. I haven't played it on the PC. I bought it on the Switch.
Fair enough.
And Pizza
I'm
Tower
probably going
was
to play it
another
on the
one that came
PC,
out.
but I will let you know.
Yeah. Pizza Tower was another one that was shadow dropped, and Pizza Tower is really fun. It's what if the Wario Land games and Sonic had a baby, and it released on the Sega Genesis.
Pizza Tower's been out for a hot minute, man.
On the PC, it just got released on the Switch. As far as okay, as well, there was the Balatro Friends of Jimbo update, which adds cards from The Witcher, Dave the Diver. And there's a bunch of other games, so it's a huge update to Balatro. I got Hunter trying it. Did you like it?
I'm currently have it open on my desktop still. So yes.
Yeah, no, Balatro is really, really fun. Highly recommend it for you guys. As far as like indies that were announced, there was Neva, which didn't really do anything for me. It just looks like an adventure game. Could be interesting, but might not be my cup of tea. They announced the Sea of Stars DLC, which looks pretty interesting. New Coffee Talk game. This one is Coffee Talk Tokyo. I haven't played the Coffee Talk games, but it seems like it's very similar to like the old school point and click adventure games, which you're playing as a bartender. So might be interesting.
Well, and it has like that vaporwave aesthetic as well, correct?
That's one. That's the one thing that makes me go, I might get into it if it goes on sale to try it out.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, dude, like in terms of like vaporwave, like themed games, like Broken Reality or Paradise Killer, like if it has that aesthetic and does it right, and it's not Outrun instead of vaporwave, like I'm there.
What was it? Read Only Memory was one that was really good. I liked Read Only Memory.
Yeah, that is actually really good.
I need to go back and finish
I played the crap out of that. No, it's good. It's excellent. The storyline is excellent.
There's a new one coming out, or it's already out, but there is a sequel.
No shit.
Yeah, you should look it up. It might be out already. The Plucky Squire got some more info. It had a longer trailer. It looks interesting. Kind of looks like an isometric action RPG. Date Everything looked kind of like a dating sim dungeon crawler. Definitely not my cup of tea, but hey, it's there for someone. Morsels looked really interesting. It looks like it kind of looks like Enter the Gungeon, but with inside the belly of a monster, and you're playing like a germ or a virus or something. It looks very interesting. I don't remember.
I suppose it's Jones.
I don't remember what Wobbly Life was. Shovel Knight DX didn't really see much in the trailer, but it looks like they're just kind of like remastering it. Pico Park 2, I don't remember what that one is. Moth Cubit, don't remember. Peglin's the dungeon crawler I talked about. That one looks pretty good. Cuisinier, I think, was a cooking RPG. Not sure on that one. Metal Slug Tactics got a release date of, I believe it's October, so I'm pretty happy for that. That'll be super fun. On Your Tail and Europa, I don't remember what those are. And that was the Indie World Direct. For the partner showcase, this is where we got some cool shit. Yakuza Kiwami is coming out in October. It is 17 gigs, so it's a big boy, but If you've never played a Yakuza game, I highly recommend it. It's what happens when Double Dragon gets mixed with a Japanese RPG / life simulator. It's pretty fun. Tetris Forever is another one that they talked about. It's a collection of a ton of Tetris games. So that one will be really interesting. We also got a nice shot of Glenn's ass. Thank you for the plumber crack there, boss.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine. It just looked like a ghost ass because like your shirt and everything disappeared. So there was just like a floating ass on the screen. Goat Simulator.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Goat Simulator 3 got announced for the Switch. SpongeBob
The trailer
SquarePants.
for that fucking slapped, bro.
Which one?
Like, the Goat Simulator.
I don't know if I'd play it on the Switch though, because I don't know how well the Switch could handle the chaos of Goat Simulator 3, but we'll see. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wait,
Patrick
you
Star
said
game.
Goat Simulator 3, not the remake.
No,
for
no,
Goat Simulator.
Talking about Goat Simulator 3.
Oh, okay. The remake trailer for that was great.
Fitness Boxing 3 just looks like a boxing type game. My Sims Cozy Bundle. I think they're re-releasing 2 of the old My Sims games. Not my thing, but hey, it's for somebody. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is all the games I've been waiting for. It's both Capcom vs SNK 1 and 2, Power Stone 1 and 2, Plasma Blade, and I think there was another one. Real Bout. No, not Real Bout. What was the Rival Schools?
Rival Schools?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that's in the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. So can't wait for that. Sid Meier's Civ 7 got announced for the Switch. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, which looks pretty cool. Have any of you ever played Harvest Moon?
Yes.
Okay, so Rune Factory is Harvest Moon mixed with Legend of Mana. So you actually do dungeon crawls and like fight monsters and stuff while also tending to like your farm and all that. Guardians of Azuma,
like Sakura Dungeon then.
yeah, kind of like Sakura Dungeon. But yeah, this one is they're going, instead of doing like Eastern fantasy, they're going with Japanese folklore. So it's like you got samurais, ninjas, like yokai, all that shit. So that looks pretty cool. They also had another trailer for the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, which is dope. So that's Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, and I'm missing one. It was Marvel. It was, and I think another Marvel game, and The Punisher. So that I can't wait. That is one that I pre-ordered. We also got Altair Yumiya, The Alchemist of Memory, and the Envisioned Land. It looks kind of interesting. I know I have one of the games in the Altair Yumiya series, which was like a Metroidvania. I liked it, so I might look into this one more. Dragon Quest III Remake got another trailer, which looks awesome. The Stalker trilogy is coming out on the Switch, I believe in November. So if you haven't played Stalker before and you want to play it on the go, it is some of the best Euro jank you will ever experience. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 and Security Breach Ruin were announced. They're remaking The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, which looks fucking dope. Star Overdrive I missed. I wasn't too sure what that was. The Suikoden collection got another trailer, and I'm super excited for that because both those games are now getting stupid expensive, and they both are super fun. There was the FIFA Soccer 25. Worms Armageddon Anniversary Edition is coming out, so that'll be kind of cool. Yeah. Tales of Grace F Remastered, which looks like it's a action RPG. Looks pretty fun. Lego Horizon Adventures was announced, which I didn't know that Lego Horizon was a thing, or I didn't know that Horizon Zero Dawn had Lego sets. So it's kind of interesting to see that that's coming out. There was another trailer for Star Wars Hunters, which kind of looks like the Star Wars version of Fortnite or a hero shooter, I believe. Disney Dreamlight Magic, Just Dance 2025. Epic Mickey Rebrushed looks pretty interesting because I think that's the old, was it a Wii game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're remaking that, so that might be kind of cool. Tales of the Shire looks like a Hobbit life simulator, and it does not look fun, but that's just my opinion. And then Funko Fusion for Mr. Rico over here, which looks like a third-person Funko Pop shooter.
Yes.
So that looks like it could be something. It was also announced that in the Power Rangers Rita's Rewind beat-em-up game that's coming out, when you beat the game, it looks like you'll unlock Tommy as a playable character, which is pretty dope. Apparently, the studio behind Star Fox Argonauts is back, and they're remastering the Croc series for modern consoles, so that'll be kind of fun. Let's see here. Guilty Gear Strive apparently is coming out on the Switch. For people who like Guilty Gear. And Clock Tower is getting remastered and I believe releasing on everything October 31st. So that will be fun.
Oh yeah, super exciting.
And
something else that that dropped this week was the 7th volume of Die Dark. And this is the final book in the manga series. Just released 2 days ago. I picked it up on Barnes & Noble. So I can finally see the finish of it. It's really good stuff, by the way.
And the last thing I want to talk about, for those of you who like board games, Glenn, on Kickstarter, there is a campaign running right now for a game called The Living Maze. It is a solo dungeon crawler that is card based, and it looks super fun. Guy did a Kickstarter for it a couple months back, maybe like 6 months ago. They failed to meet their goal, so they went back, tweaked what the fans were talking about, and then just posted it up again. It's been active for I believe 2 days, and I just got an email today saying that they hit at least $3,000 of their $12,000 goal. So I'm hoping they get there because the game looks really, really fun. If you have Tabletop Simulator, they do have the files so you can download it and give it a try.
Yeah, it's fun, kind of funny. Actually, I think I might have seen something like that. One of the mechanics that they use works very similar to the way that they did the random dungeon generation for Poker Roll, the Pokemon tabletop RPG's Mystery Dungeon expansion.
Yeah, so that's why it looks like there's some really cool stuff in there. I believe the game is going for $35, and I believe it is $55 if the early bird still isn't up for the deluxe edition, which comes with the neoprene mat, card sleeves, and all that fun jazz. I think the early bird was $35 for everything, so I got the early bird and got the $35 one. So I'm hoping this one goes through because the guy's like really cool, super active with the community, and I wish them the best because the game looks really fun, and I hope they succeed. So
you'll have to drop the link in the.
I will drop the link in there. Yeah.
Chat.
But yeah, it is called The Living Maze. It's a solo game, but it does have multiplayer versus. I didn't read into too much, but they did add a competitive aspect to it as well for if you want to play not solo. And that's everything I got. Who else wants to talk stuff?
I think I think it's running late for me.
Okay, fair enough.
I think I'm just about spun out now, and I'm ready to say goodbye to our dear audience.
Okay, all right. Before we do that, oh sacred Captain Dick Tickler of the NASCAR arena, what is your wisdom this week?
Next time you go to IHOP, yank out a pube, throw it onto your plate, and get your meal for free.
And this has been the podcast. Jesus Christ.
Just remember, it only works one time.
That's not true. I got more than enough. I can go back every day if I want.
All right, Rico, play us out.
And that's a podcast.
No,
Drink
you gotta
water.
give me a drink water.
He was going to give you a drink water. You interrupt him.
No,
Yeah.
he wasn't
He was in the
gonna
middle
do
of it.
He didn't. He wasn't gonna do it. Do it. Come on.
Frank, sign us off. Hey, drink water.
And
He
later.
literally
guys.
said the words.